Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Star Series Season number 11. We are into our next match, HellRaisers versus Alliance. Thank you so much for joining us here. I think our fourth game of the day, I'm pretty sure. We have two more games left, including this one. And probably our best game of the day in terms of players and,
remaining.
well, I think the exciting factor. HellRaisers is a team that's been playing really well recently.
Remaining.
Up and coming, to be sure. This new roster's really worked out well for them, I'd say. Alliance, a team that, they're going through a little bit of... They're going through some changes, to say the least. You look at the roster currently, they have Ake, Loda, who is their purple player, Mad, Pycat, and Minuts. Some pretty good players on this squad. We'll see how it pans out. Thanks so much for joining us again. My name is Maut. With me today is our statsman, Maut Pax, and of course, Blaze. How are you, man?
Doing pretty good. The last few games have been very interesting. The last one I would say more strategically, and the other one that was intense. But yeah, this one should be interesting as far as like looking at the rosters and seeing how they mesh. Obviously, HellRaisers have been really up and on the mend as far as their overall team play, because before they had essentially Compass Gaming, and then they added in Dread to the roster. They had also swapped in Afro Ninja about 3 weeks before, maybe 4 weeks. So they weren't really on the same page with everyone, but recently HellRaisers has been doing extremely well, taking a lot of wins, not necessarily against like the best of the best teams, but very consistently against everybody else. But Alliance here, obviously, some people joke it's Ake +4. We've got Loda here, and Minus is kind of an unofficial member. I'm pretty sure he's sticking with it. He's been very dedicated to the team in this time of disarray. But it's interesting to see here Pycat. They've been rotating a lot of Team Tinker members in particular. Like we've seen EGM hit up the team a bit, Pycat now, and also from Denial, it is F King Mad running the draft here, already kind of picking up some signature style of draft, like the Puck Bane opener. That's definitely
That's
him.
bad, yeah.
Like you definitely look at that and you think, okay, Goblak and Fucking Mad are probably the only two people that really jump on those heroes to the same degree. So we'll see how it works out, but it's interesting to see these different personalities and playstyles mesh.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got Mad drafting for you, you certainly aren't in a bad position. So I'm excited to see what they can accomplish with him at the helm. And obviously, more so than anything, the thing I look forward to most is seeing what Loda plays a lot of the time. I think his hero is obviously a big indication of how the game is going to go. We've seen him take over games as anti-mage where he'll just 1v5 the entire team, and he'll have like 700 GPM, and we'll see if it's going to be more of the same or if they do a more team-oriented approach where they get the Bane and the Puck involved and they try to get as many kills as possible. They go for the Lycan, which isn't something that I see Loda play too often, but it's certainly a hero that can take over the game.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see it here. I'm curious if they're going to go for something that can benefit from the Howl, anything with summons in particular, but the Broodmother is something that obviously we saw quite a bit of the last time. The Ogre eventually becomes something that can counter push against the Spiders once he gets multicast up, but prior to that, it's kind of weak. And the Slark, he would have to go for a max Death Pack build, or Dark Pack build, and it always leaves him at low HP. So yeah, there are certainly risks to picking up that strategy, but it might be the rat strat that they're kind of looking for. Otherwise, they just get a lot of good physical damage out of the Lycan, and obviously he can keep pace with his targets pretty effectively. As far as him versus Slark, I don't know. They're both kind of on that level of not necessarily anti-carry, but they like to bash people down. They like to stay in the fight for a long time, kind of maneuver about with their enhanced movement speed, and I don't know, with the Ogre Bloodlust, that Slark will beat out the Lycan, but Lycan will have a much faster tempo and will be able to come online a lot sooner than the Slark.
Yeah, it comes down to tower pressure as well. I mean, you don't have that much from a Puck and a Bane, but Lycan certainly could provide a lot of pressure, and the Ember Spirit doesn't really help HellRaisers in terms of taking out objectives, so it's a good hero to be sure, and especially in the mid lane, it should be pretty okay if it's going to be an Ember versus a Puck matchup, but we'll see how this game does go. So,
I really like the Ember in that situation. There's only a couple of people that skill the Sleight of Fist early, and I don't like that build. But if you go for the even 102 build, the second that you get 2 points in your Flame Guard, Puck does absolutely no damage to you via spells. The Orb plus Waning Rift, it's always cost inefficient to try to pierce through that shell. So, unless they have a really good roamer for their last hero pickup, I honestly don't feel that confident in the Puck in that matchup. And I think the Ember Slark is really good against Lycan. Like Pounce or Searing Chains, locking down the Shapeshift, pretty scary for him. So I like the Beastmaster pick against the Ember, but overall, I think HellRaisers are actually doing really well in this early draft.
This is how you know it's a mad draft. You see a Beastmaster at any point in the draft, then you know you've got a fucking mad draft on your hands, which is it's not unusual to see this, honestly. This is his go-to. Take control of your own jungle, take control of the enemy jungle through map control, get involved with bots, roar as many people as possible, and go from there. And in terms of locking people down, nobody's really better at it than Beastmaster with Primal Roar. So on top of that, Boar's really good as well. I would like to pick up, and I like the fact that Mad drafts this so often. It's quite the hero, I think.
Yeah, I think that he has a lot of potential. Obviously, the attack speed aura will help the Lycan do a little bit more, and it's good to staples against the Slark and the Ember, potentially. Obviously, Dark Pact causes some issues there, the Strong Dispel breaking you out of a lot of stuff, but they have Silence on top of that, so I think they should have enough to pin him down.
Well, the last seconds of this draft are going to tick away. Well, HellRaisers have no reserve time. Alliance have plenty of time to spend and think about what they want to band out next, so... the question is this going to be a core or support Jakiro? We've seen a lot of support Jakiro recently. Also a lot of core, though. That's the thing. It's been played pretty popularly in the offlane. You were the one talking about it earlier when Yoki was playing it for Empire in the offlane, and feeding was the term you used for the offlane Jakiro. So
yeah, it's really hard to survive. I understand why they do it. It's really nice to get the early experience on the Jakiro rather than have kind of relegating him to support. He gets the Yules out a little bit sooner too. But if your objective is to, at all costs, not feed like a hard carry, don't pick a Jakiro off lane because you run so many risks there just to try to get an experience range. You can't rotate into the jungle, so you have to push out on the lane, and that leaves you at significant risk. They could go for like a Mirana here, and that would be perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of options available to them currently. And ban of the Disruptor, which, by the way, I'm a big fan of after that last game. That hero needs to be picked more, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that hero deserves a lot more picking, but that's just me anyway. I really enjoy that hero.
In general, I would like to see more varied drafts because, honestly, there are so many underrated heroes right now. Like, we see a lot of the same 30, 35, but I would say there's an extremely competitive pool of, like, 80 heroes, and even everybody but the bottom, like, 15 are, I would say, applicable in many, many drafts. They do go for the Mirana here. Howl is going to help her a lot because otherwise her right clicks are really weak early. And, of course, the Bane-Mirana combo. You get a lot of early kills. But the question is how they run this Beastmaster, because obviously the Bane is going to be support. The Puck and Lycan are going to be cores. But it's either going to be the Beastmaster or the Mirana giving the farm to the other. And I don't know. I've seen Beastmaster support work, but I never feel it's the strongest in its suit.
Well, when Mad plays with Denial, I know that he gives Funzy the Beastmaster more often than not, and he puts it in the offlane. But this is not Denial. This is Alliance. Just something to keep in mind. I'm not sure if they're going to run it as a support. I think I've seen it once or twice where he's done it as a support where Mad has played the Beastmaster, but that remains to be seen. Abaddon, very good hero in this game. Very good hero. Specifically, Arrow, not going to be as useful, and goddamn is going to be the one playing it. I think this is a very smart pickup, a very smart last pickup, which means that this is going to be the Korgic hero. Not anything too shocking, but we'll have to see how it goes. As I like this draft from HellRaisers a lot. I like the Abaddon pickup a lot. Like, I think it's going to be pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it's insane. The amount of Dispel that HellRaisers have between the Slark and the Abaddon is going to actually be really hard to lock down. Like, you don't often get to look at the lineup that has a Fiend's Grip, a Primal Roar, an Arrow, and just say, yeah, we could probably survive through that. But that level of control means nothing if the Dark Pact is in action or if the Abaddon is in range to get the Aphotic Shield. I honestly think they're going to need something like a Blink Silence onto the Abaddon and then a Yules on him just to keep him away from the cores that you're trying to gun down.
This is it's going to be a tough game, honestly. HellRaisers are in a position where this Abaddon's going to do some pretty good early work here with goddamn on it. So for Alliance, they still have obviously Mad playing. Mad is playing the Lycan. Loda is playing the Mirana. Wow. Is this a jungle Lycan? He's got Coiling Blade and Stout Shield. Huh. Interesting.
Wow, yeah. Not too sure about that. Obviously, they're looking at the Beastmaster on the offlane there with the boots first, and Puck has a Null Tally start to go mid, so...
Yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense. And then Mirana Core coming out for Loda? Ooh.
Yeah, I think it has to be a jungle Lycan. Tried and true. I mean, it did obviously work a lot better when the hero was... had different armor values on his wolves and such, HP values as well.
TI2.
Yeah, he used to be like one of the best and fastest junglers in the game. And then there was a time around, I'm trying to remember, it was a Monster Invitational, I think, where we saw, after a huge time period where Lycan was not picked at all, we saw him picked, and the reason that he was able to start jungle is because the Crystal Maiden helped him out with Frostbite. And that was a kind of turning point where people are like, oh yeah, you can do this if you just let the Lycan tank instead of the wolves. But in this case here, yeah, he's doing the, like, this is a pub level strat of Lycan. Like, you go and you go back to your fountain, you summon wolves there, and then you head out, and you quarry out a Clarity very early on. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, he's doing it without any assistance, and we'll have to see how quickly he can build up.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what Matt does. I've seen this before recently. I forget which team did it, but it's not the first time I've seen this in a long time, but it certainly is unusual. Loda playing the Mirana. I'm generally not a big fan of the core Mirana, but if there's any player that can play Mirana in the core position, it's probably going to be Loda. So
definitely. That guy finds so much farm. He's able to get like a Mjolnir out in like 25 minutes, and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, if anybody can make it work, it certainly is Loda. And the Howl, again, will help, though he is going to have to prioritize the Feral Impulse if he is going for that jungle. If you look at the micro here from Fucking Mad, he is letting the wolves drop down to about 30, 60 HP, and then he's tanking the rest of the shots. So it's a Stout Shield at work. So he's managing it right now, but again, mana is going to be the issue, and we'll see if he gets a Bottle or a Clarity out at any point in time. Actually going for Howl already.
I think Bottle is probably the better choice in this situation.
If he can afford it, but 700, it's pretty far off.
Away, yeah. Loda is taking some harass. This is not an easy lane to stand up to. Liquid Fire.
Do you think Pycat could actually give him a couple bottle sips?
Denied.
I think he could get away with it. I don't know if you need to spam out Illusory Orb as much. I guess Flame Guard will push it in regardless. I don't know. If Pycat, if he doesn't take too much damage from Flame Guard, especially if Ninja doesn't go Sleight of Fist and he misses a couple of Searing Chains, then absolutely. But we'll have to wait and see. I think he could be a bit selfless here. We'll see.
Yeah, and there's the Hellbear Smasher spawn. That is the one spawn Lycan will not be able to deal with this early levels. I mean, maybe when you have your wolves at level 3, but not at level 1. He's going to look for the rune, hope for like the luckiest regen you'll see, but looks like Pycat is just going to get its bottle naturally, and the rune spawn for Fucking Mad will be a regen.
Pounce top lane.
Are you kidding me?
Ignite's going to go, and looks like this might be your first blood. We're not sure. Maybe it won't be. He's taking a lot of damage. The Ignite will take away, and he is too tanky. The Beastmaster, in fact. This guy is manly as all hell. He's got 2 axes. He's
Fucking Mad's rune luck, though. He got a regen rune, and then got to summon wolves while the mana was restoring. So now he's got a free set of wolves and the full mana. It's absolutely insane. That luck, I mean, what is that, like 1 in 10? Something like that.
Base Ice Frog. That's all I could say. Every time that happens, just thank you, Ice Greg. It's very kind.
And Beastmaster naturally is a very tanky hero. Going back to your point against the Ogre here, like obviously the Ogre impacts him with the Orb of Venom, the Ignite, but he's got like 4 armor. He's got so much natural HP, and of course the boots first. He's able to get out, and yeah, there are only like 2 or 3 heroes that can really survive in that kind of situation, but Beastmaster is definitely among them at level 2 with the stats.
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels like any other hero in that situation probably dies, but that's not the case. They throw up the Enfeeble onto Gorek, so his damage is not necessarily as much, and he still has Liquid Fire, though. That's the thing to keep in mind. 16 last hits for Pycat, and he is dominating mid. Look at Alpha Ninja. He's taking too much damage. He's already used his Flame Guard. Luckily, Illusory Orb is on cooldown. Had he used it there, he would have gotten the kill, assuming it hit. But Pycat is having a heck of a time. And,
yeah, it's hard to keep eyes on mid lane with all the other stuff going on about the interesting notes in the jungle and obviously in the side lanes, but this is really uncharacteristic of this matchup. Like, Alpha Ninja's gonna die. Oh, one more
good
right
Searing Chains. High ground miss. No, he didn't get the high ground miss. Pycat with a beautiful first blood. And Alpha Ninja was too aggressive. Too aggressive, man.
He's getting outplayed so hard by Pycat here in the mid lane. Like, this matchup is not favoring the puck. I mean, like, you can win the matchup as a puck. It's not out of the question, but to win it this substantially, doubling the CS, getting the first blood, I honestly think Alpha Ninja is failing in multiple capacities to have fallen this far behind. And we'll go for the Searing Chains here. There is the orb, but it's not fast enough.
Return kill. We've got a bit of a duel going on mid lane.
Top lane, there is going to be no Ignite, just a Pounce, and the Dark Pact should be enough damage that he will fall. Trying to deny the neutrals, but I don't think they'll bite.
No, they were too busy dealing with that pesky-ass range creep. That Centaur's like, I want the small little dude with a stick that's hunched over instead of the guy that's just a giant manly man with freaking double axes. It's kind of silly, but regardless, he'll go down. And a bit of some early aggression from both sides, honestly. Bottom lane's actually the only lane we haven't seen action in. Dual Breath's going to go. Ake is going to get hit up with that. And Loda is sitting at 13 last hits. This is not the best farm that he can get early on. And in fact, you have 21 last hits for the like. And obviously, these are jungle CS, but this is still an issue coming up from Loda.
Yeah, essentially in this situation, it's so easy to harass the Mirana, reducing her attack speed and HP with the Liquid Fire, and there's no way you get the Jakiro out of the lane because he...
Oh, God. Pycat, triple remnant, right click, not enough damage with that Flame Guard. He was so close to getting that kill. Oof, sorry.
No problem. That's definitely worth checking out, and I mean, this lane is going back and forth like crazy. But yeah, the Jakiro is just naturally tanky enough that the Abaddon will always have time to pop both his spells on him, and with the Mist Coil and Aphotic Shield behind a Jakiro, it really is frustrating for Mirana. She is going to be always suppressed by the Liquid Fire, and it's just not working out the way they want it to on the bottom lane.
Yeah, this last pick of Abaddon has really kind of stopped any sort of aggression that...
Oh, there's Dream Coil on mid. He'll just break it. Interesting.
He just remedied it away. Yeah, Alpha Ninja's fine. But yeah, as I was saying, the arrow, the Nightmare Arrow combo is not going to be there because of the Aphotic Shield coming out from the Abaddon. Unless they rotate elsewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only real issue. I don't think they're going to head top.
The only way you do it is you get a spread between the two heroes, and you get the Nightmare on the Abaddon.
Yes.
And obviously the Jakiro, with his Tranquil Boots, should be able to get into a click and toggle the sleep. But if you do like a 3-second arrow instead of go for a 5-second one, it might still be enough time to connect the arrow.
I mean, that's a dream situation for Loda and Ake at this point, but...
Yeah, and he doesn't even have the mana anymore. He's been using Starstorm to CS because his right clicks are so weak.
That's the problem. That's the reason I have an issue with Mirana, is that, I mean, usually when you have a ranged carry, like a Gyrocopter or something like that, your attack animation is good, or you have decent base damage like a Drow Ranger. And Mirana has neither of those. Her animation's kind of iffy, and her base damage is... Meanwhile, Midas gets caught out. There's going to be Ignite as well as the Pounce, and he is in some trouble. The Essence Shift just blows him up. Artez is having a pretty good time top lane. 1-0-1 with 37 CS, and yeah, good stuff.
Yep. Just I really think the Abaddon movement down bottom offset the laning configuration, where the Beastmaster is a squishy one, the Jakiro is not, and yeah, it just comes down to the fact that they picked this jungle Lycan, which essentially is taking up a support slot, and therefore the Bane can't zone him out solo. Like, if there was another hero on top of the Bane, they could actually kill the Abaddon a ton of times, but instead we see Ake getting harassed back. Gorak, even with Enfeeble, is doing a lot of damage to him, and doesn't have to worry about his HP whatsoever. I really think that the reason this bottom lane is going so bad is not just because of the Mirana pick, it's because the Lycan isn't able to contribute, but now he'll try.
I mean, he'll try to go for a couple of right clicks here. Ake can come in, but what can he do? He doesn't have level 6, and the only thing Matt can do is dive this tower.
Go switch on Abaddon. They got the brain sap.
They have it. Arrow's going to go into Gorak. The Aphotic Shield already went, but they can't kill either of these heroes despite both of them being so low. Maybe they can. Starstorm does get the kill. Lycan will fall, though, in the end as he dove too far. The TP came in and it actually was canceled. I believe it was the Ember TP. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it might have been Artez. Regardless, though, they don't get the kill on the Jakiro, but they do get the kill the Abaddon, but they do lose Matt, who was that Lycan, so...
Yeah, it's essentially a support for a tower dive, and the Mirana's not much better off in the lane because of it, because she just went back to Fountain, and now she's out of mana once again. We will see Pycat with a haste rune, though, going up double Dream Coil, pretty easily set up here, but Arts does have that ultimate, pops it immediately.
Shadow Dance is going to go. They have vision with the Scout Hawk, but here comes F and NJ. Minos is like, nope, time to leave. Let's get out, buddy. And they will use the Moonlight Shadow as well, just to make sure that their escape is safe. Maybe they go back in. They're thinking about a Dream Coil, but they're remedied away.
They go into Slark right now, but he's healed up to full.
They're already gone. They've made it out of here, so... A good try coming out from Alliance, but they will not be able to secure a kill. Artez goes back in to CS a bit more, but... Okay, 2-4. HellRaisers have the lead, I'd imagine, currently. It is by about 1,000 net worth and about 500 experience, which isn't much, but... I think at some point Matt transition into a core. And that's what I think Alliance are banking on, is the fact that eventually Matt will overtake Loda in terms of his CS, in terms of his farm, in terms of his, just overall net worth, so...
So, Jahiro's going to have a good Yule's timing, but, I mean, you could get a lot of value out of this Lycan pick. Obviously, he'll go for the Vlads. He'll give you and that extra bit of golden experience because of the fact that he can constantly... He's a hero that can actually wipe out the entire jungle every minute, and you can get the maximum amount of efficiency out of that. So, unless they start warding up the jungle, Alliance in general are just going to pull ahead in overall gold gains.
Right.
And HellRaisers are going to be pressured to go for kills, though luckily they're going to be at about that time in a great position to go for it because Arts will have that blink.
The blink's going to come out soon. Meanwhile, Gork down at the bottom with Goddamn and go back away. And yeah, I mean, Artes he's actually going Shadowblade, by the way. He's Shadow Amulet.
Yeah, I just picked that up. That's not a bad pickup, and in this case, like, I don't think they're going to be... essentially, because you're running a solo support, shielding off the arrow, because you're running a solo support, you're going to be pressed to have detection out everywhere. The Shadowblade's a pretty clear way of getting around the map, but Minuts will be pretty much picked off. I don't see any way of him getting out of here.
Yeah, he was way too far up. He did buy his bottle before he died, so that is at least something. And the Fire Blast came through the pounce as well, and should be a pretty good time Shadowblade as well.
A lot of death for a tanky hero. It's just a positioning error.
This is the issue with having him in the offlane, though. I mean, he might be tanky, but I mean, this is a really lethal dual lane when you think about it. It's an Ogre and a Slark. That's actually kind of gross in and of itself. So
yeah, usually when you feel...
Oh, sorry. No, Pycat got Searing Chains up. Jaunted away. That's he's fine.
Usually when you see that much pressure coming in the Beastmaster, he just goes ahead and stacks up the Ancients. So looking over that, we do see, I guess, a triple stack here. Yeah, Thunderhides are hiding underneath. So a decent stack for him to farm out with the Wild Axes, but still it's gonna take some time. Even if he just has the 3 Wild Axes points, it's gonna take him, I would say, a good minute and a half to clear that out. Anyways, on bottom lane.
Yeah, Gorok is gonna pop his Macro Pyre, and they do actually Nightmare the Abaddon. That provides them a huge kill. Gorok going down is actually big, and Matt does get it. So that'll provide him some extra bit of farm going his way.
And up top the Roar. That's not going to work. My nuts. What's going on, man? If that pounce came through, could have been a turn kill, but a TP threatened it, so he just walks away.
That was kind of awkward, that he just throws at the Roar there, but unfortunately doesn't get anything going. Pycat has not really been involved. He is very close to his blink. He might have to jaunt away. Silence goes in. Affinninja. Oh, Pycat jaunt out of there, buddy. The triple remnant, though. The follow-through from Affinninja. Now Loda is too late to the party. Arrow's going to connect, but there's no real damage. Now the right click coming in. Is it enough to leap forward? Nope. Miscoil. Great TP rotation from Goddamn. And Pycat, who was so close to his blink dagger, now it's stifled a bit further.
Yeah, just TP is such a good item on Abaddon. If anybody plays Abaddon, whether you're really good at the hero or not, just buy a TP scroll within 5 minutes. Like, in most supports, you're like, oh, I have to get boots, I have to get this. Have a TP scroll always on Abaddon, no exceptions, because it's so damn good to make those rotations.
I'd also say not only TP scroll, but learn to shift Q.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's a huge aspect to it. And it is worth noting this coil is a bit of a faster animation than the Aphotic Shield when you're in a really desperate situation. But anyways, the Slark is getting a ton of farm. They took the tier 1 tower down bottom, and I don't think they're going to find anything on mid. They do have the Fiend's Grip, so maybe.
No, they can't get a kill here. I don't think they don't have any lock.
Fiend's Grip?
Maybe Dread. I was looking at Loda. Knight's going to go through. They're not going to dive him.
I get the Fiend's Grip.
Oh, Affinninja, yeah, they get the kill. Yeah. Dream Coil as well, just to secure it. That is close to Pycat's blink. It isn't his blink, but it's close. But already, bottom tier 2 is getting pressured by Gork and Dread and the rest of the squad, so.
Moonlight visible. Yeah. They see it under the observer ward, so it's not going to be a surprise, and they'll just back off.
Yeah, this is a smart get out of dodge play from Dread and the rest of HellRaisers. It's like, let's just get the heck out of here. They do have a wolf following them, and actually Loda has a haste rune, but they see him. The Centaur pops out. Great turd coming out. Great bait. Oh my god, HellRaisers get a kill. Meanwhile, Artez gets a solo kill onto Pycat, who again was so close to his blink. Shadowblade coming into play. TP out from Ake, who realizes he's in a tough situation. Great turn from HellRaisers. I thought for sure they were just going to leave, but they pop the sentry down, and Loda overextends and dies because of it.
Yep, Yugi activates the trap card, and they just blow him up. Then they go ahead and push down the tier 2. They even see the TP. I guess the creep wave would have seen that. No thanks to the observer ward, but I do want to mention that this observer ward is really nice. The fact that they're able to see anything up to this angle here, and of course anything to the western side of that tree line.
Okay, look out, buddy. That's a spicy guess.
Actually, if these two trees weren't here, then they see even more. But we are going to see an arrow come through, just hitting creeps. Dread being the target of choice if Gotham can't bail him out.
Aphotic Shield. Dread's going to try to multicast. He doesn't get the multicast off. He was really banking on getting a multicast and killing Ake, but no, he wasn't lucky enough. So Ake backs away, and they do defend the tier 2 tower. It takes them a bit of time, and it's actually going to get denied. So.
Yep, so what does the Slark go next here? Like, often we see the Basher, but one thing you have to remember is his mana pool is quite limited right now. Like, the mana cost of Shadowblade is substantial. He's using mana on TP scrolls as well. So he will make his way down here, and it will be this arrow on Abaddon, who does have borrowed time.
Radiant's
got
top
him, it's
tower
fine.
is under attack.
I'd say usually when you see a Blink Dagger, a lot of the time it'll be Blink right into Scotty. Maybe it's the same kind of situation with a Shadow Blade, and just to make yourself a bit tankier. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about going right into Scotty?
Yeah, I used to see Shadowblade Orchid a lot, and that was really good, but I don't know if it's that impactful this game, because the Puck's farm is decent, so he's going to be able to nullify that about 5 minutes after it picks up.
Fiend Script, and he's dead in the top lane. Matt is taking a lot of Flame Guard damage, but he doesn't seem to mind, as he's the one that picks up the kill. I gotta say, Matt is probably the hero that brings them back into this game.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's that extra core that you drafted to essentially get for free because you knew that you'd get weak lanes. They knew that they would be in this situation 15 minutes into the game. It's what happens after the fact that makes the difference. Dread getting gone on, and yeah, he's going to be dropping very quickly.
Yeah, nice coil comes in. Arrow a little bit off the mark there. Mistimed. They might have been looking for goddamn as he TP'd in, but Gork gets a pretty well-timed Eul Scepter. Could have been faster, but still, 15 minutes is not bad for an off-lane Jakiro that split farm within a bad, well, more so than anything, split experience, but it's not bad. They have that ability. They have that item to work with now. TP top lane actually is canceled. That was a mistake, I think, from FNJ. Yeah, he should have completed that TP, so that's unfortunate, but whatever. He'll walk towards mid.
The Beastmaster's doing a lot better now, obviously finding the Ancient Farm. We are going to see Puck take a lot of hits here. No jaunt away. He's going to be going down unless they defensively Nightmare for the deny, and that's not coming. So,
yeah.
Moonlight Shadow came out, and they didn't have vision, but the Ignite was able to kill him through, so... What is this Beastmaster doing right
as long
now?
as they keep pushing up top, like they're getting something, right?
Yes.
At worst, they trade 1-for-1 on towers.
Yes. And what is Beastmaster accomplishing, though, I feel like, from Rhinance? He's got a bottle and treads. He hasn't really been able to roar. It's going to get Aphotic shielded off if he does.
Yeah, you generally roar the Abaddon at a threshold above the borrowed time so that he's just taken out of the fight for a long, long time. Or, obviously, you look for times when people are farming by themselves, like Ember Spirit has done multiple times over.
That's true. Meanwhile, Gork might get caught out. Fiend's Group is going to go. Dread is stunned up. I think he got hit by an arrow. Maybe Roar is going to go onto Gork as well. But meanwhile, they already pick up 2 heroes. Artez is dominated. They're looking for more. Minut's great Eul Scepter up onto 1, onto 2. Gork's getting low. Big fight coming through Pycat with the initiation. Lucio Waning Rift. They're going to take down Matt, however. They still turn it their way. 4 dead and almost a 5th if Pycat is not careful. And somehow HellRaisers take that fight, although with really good counter initiation from Pycat, it almost turned sour for HellRaisers.
Gauntlet is really low here. He does have to be careful for the Blink Waning Rift orb, but I think he'll be okay just from that combo only. And Art's actually stalking with the Shadow Blade here. So sees Pycat, gonna do some damage, but I think he still survives. He has too many escapes. And
there's no
it's just
mana
gonna
on
be a bounty
Artez.
rune.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, he's fine. This is awkward, but it works out. So, anyways, as far as that fight going down, obviously the shield off on the Fiend's Grip was really relevant, but still Pycat is doing enough that he's actually able to turn fights and still get some kills out of it. So they aren't winning right now, but they still are showing that they have the ability to turn engagements, and that's really, really important because generally speaking, Abaddon is the one who has the last laugh, but if you can, Fiend's one target, Arrow another target, and Roar another target, then there's only so much the Abaddon can do. It's still an amazing pick here. And
I can't Aphotic 3 people at once. Please stop.
Where's my refresher orb?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you just kind of get upset at the world and you start throwing things. But no, that's...
But yeah, and with coordinated disables, I think that Alliance might still be able to get a couple of major kills and push themselves forward in this game.
Again, that's the issue. These are a couple of players that, I mean, a couple of them are familiar with playing with each other, but not all of them. I mean, this is a relatively new roster. Again, stand-ins abound, and obviously, it's not the normal roster Loda and Aka are used to playing with, so you don't want to make excuses for them, but it's definitely a tough situation. Although, Matt has done a very good job, again, of you talked about this as this core that wasn't really supposed to be here. It's kind of a free core coming out with the Lycan. He's got his Book 1, he's got his Vlads, but FNJ chasing after a couple of targets, not able to find anybody off the mark. On the other side of things, Pycat's here. Ice Path, Artez, Pycat gets pounced up, and Lucior, Willie jaunts up. He's on the cliff, and he will blink away. He's in the trees currently. They can't find him, and Pycat lives. They're going to counter ward. Actually, it's got 5 seconds left. Gorek, come on, buddy. You got it. Come on, buddy. No! It's going to... Yeah, it's dead.
Okay. It's okay.
But 50 gold, though.
The 50 gold! But, yeah. Pycat going to slip away. That's the one weakness of the Shadow Blade is you can't go up and down cliffs. That's not the one weakness, but it's one of them. And, obviously the puck is pretty slippery. He's cutting past waves, and he doesn't actually have a TP, so it's a long road home. But he's homeward bound. It's going to be Minus to get caught by the chains, by the Ignite, and now Art's going right on top of him, almost bringing him down, but he still lives.
Shadow Dance goes for Art so he doesn't get caught out of position. There's the shapeshift from
Courier's
Mad, and they do get the Courier on the Radiant side. Courier trade, Courier for a Courier. Ice Path onto Mad. Wow, he gets blown up. And Flame Guard came through, the multicast coming up from Dread, and they just blew him up. Arrow connects onto Gorp, but there's absolutely no fault. Aphotic Shield comes out as well, and end of the fight comes through. Glyph's going to go in the tier 2 tower. Meanwhile, on the backside, you do have Pycat looking to engage, but without having Lycan, I don't know if they want to fight this.
I've never seen a courier for courier trade, especially in that proximity. Like
Neither of them had anything on it, too. That was the crazy thing. No items.
Reserve wards and the TP scroll. Oh, that's what it was. Puck was trying to get. I mentioned that Pycat didn't have a TP scroll. He was like down bottom runish, and he wanted the TP scroll instead of going to the side shop. But yep, nope. He just sends it right through the pack, and that didn't work out.
It's a bit awkward. Just, I hope the courier gets here. We'll try my best. It just doesn't get there. Dies in the way. Unfortunate. The other courier is like in the middle of the fight. Just like, okay. Right now, if you look at it, HellRaisers are kind of grouping up. They want to take Roshan again. They don't have the best objective-taking heroes. I mean, Ninja, he does have a Battle Fury, though. That is something to keep in mind. He's rather farmed.
They're good at turtling, that's for sure.
Yes, but in terms of actually just being able to push, like, it took them years to take down that tier 2 tower, it seemed like. And then to take down Roche is another fight in and of itself, so... At this point now, Alliance definitely can turtle for a period of time. Suddenly, Loda also has a Maelstrom. I don't know where he gets the farm from, but he's got it. So.
And he's been farming a lot of Ancients, just double stacks and stuff like that. Minus not taking his turn here as he looks towards either a Necro or a Force. Could be another Yules, I guess. I honestly think it is an extremely legit strat to just keep Yulesing the Abaddon, buy 2 or 3, and just throw him up in the air whenever you're going for your
whatever it takes to get him out of the fight, honestly.
Yeah, if you buy a Yules on Beastmaster and you just Yules, Abaddon, Roar, anybody that's not Abaddon, then you've got a guaranteed Roar pretty much.
This hero is actually just so annoying to play against.
I love playing him, man. This guy is so fun.
I mean, he's great to play because you're just like, ha, it looks like you're not getting that arrow off, buddy. Just aphotic people, and you're like, I should have. Nope.
You're the puppet master. You pull the strings. You're like, hey, hard carry, dive, just go.
I talk about heroes I love to play a lot, but I can't think of a hero that I actually just like dislike playing right now. I'm sure there is something that'll come to mind. Everybody has that one hero you're just like, I can't play that.
A lot of people like Naga Siren.
I mean, I love Naga.
And stuff like.
I love those heroes, but I understand the issues people have with them. I'm not the best at playing them, to be fair, but I mean, those are fun. I actually love hitting creeps, man. I might be black.
Chen.
Meepo, I'm good at. Chen, I'm not so good at. Meepo's not very good.
I would have to say that although I'm good with Chen, well, relatively, but I would have to say that I don't enjoy playing Chen anymore. I used to.
Well, that hero's ass, though. That's the
hero is so bad, so...
I mean, it's okay that you don't like playing Chen anymore because the hero just sucks. I mean, even Enchantress is not that great anymore, and Enchantress is like the better of the two at the point.
Yeah, definitely.
So, rip Chen and Enchantress. TI3, red winners, now down the drain, so...
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They'll take Roshan. Artez is, they'll take this slowly but surely. Liquid Fire is at least helping out. Meanwhile, top tier 2 tower is being assaulted by Mad and the rest of the squad. And Mad does have his Necro 2 now completed up, so Necro 3 could be a big item for them. Although you'd like to see that a bit earlier on a Lycan. He is, of course, a jungler Lycan, so... I mean, the fact that he has it now is pretty impressive.
Atos up for Gorek here. So he has the Yules, and then he can Macropyre, Ice Path, and Atos. Anybody without a BKB is essentially dead to this guy. He has so much solo kill potential.
Not only that, he's tanky too. I mean, that's what the Atos provides, is that the Vitality Booster is just a nice little bit of extra health going his way, so... Dread is 2 minutes away from his Zags. Ogres who pick up the air items as their first major purchase from 20 to 25 minutes are 23 wins and 7 losses in 6.82. I can't even believe that an Ogre with Ags at 25 minutes has lost 7 times. That seems improbable to me.
Honestly, yeah, that's fair, but he isn't like that carry, the hero that just absolutely wins you a game. Like, he is single target, and although he can win you your lanes, although he can absolutely destroy carries, it's not like a free win card.
Due to core Ogres in an A? Oh, that's why. Fired. Oh. So that's a direct shot fired to Root, I suppose?
Yeah, pretty much.
Wrecked. You got him, dude. See if Root Gaming invites you back to whatever it is they're doing. I don't know, man. They're gonna flame you. Good luck.
Half a Ninja looking for the double damage rune and gonna
what a
be
bait.
disabled as much as they can. Just silence. Fiend's Grip.
Dead.
Nice bait.
Yeah, and they get the
Agents.
double damage rune on Puck, so he'll have that bottled up as well. And Matt is going to head over to the Ancient stack quickly and take this as well, so just taking the animations with the Shapeshift. And he is up to his Necro 3 now, still no treads or anything like that, but not a huge
They
surprise.
really need to get this gem away from Slark. Arts has just been able to roam around the map, knows exactly what they can see, and take care of them. The Necro 3 will kind of show vision of the Shadow-Bladed Slark, but whether or not that stops him from going in is a different story entirely.
Light Shadow's going to go. They still have the gem. They're going to jump in. Waning Rift. There's the coil onto one. Gork getting caught out. Nightmare on the backside. Roar onto Dread. Goddamn's going to fodk it off immediately. There's going to be the Eul Scepter from Gork to keep him up and alive. Artis is finally going to come into the fray. Multicast. There's the double multicast onto Minuts. Pounces up onto the wrong target. He gets a Pycat. He wanted Minuts. He can't find it. Now Artez is in some trouble here. He's going to fall, but it is the Aegis that he has. So he should still be good to go. Midas is going to TP away. Sleight of Fist not able to get the kill, but he does cancel the TP of Matt. Triple remnant coming through. Matt's going to fall. 2 for 1 exchange.
Beastmaster died in Fountain.
Did he
The
really?
chains didn't interrupt the TP, but it connected to do the damage over time. Oh my god.
That doesn't seem like it should happen.
Technically, but when you have like the .001 duration channel time left on your TP scroll, and it effectively has taken you home, I guess the debuff applies milliseconds before the actual mini stun or whatever form of interrupt it does provide. So
A bit awkward. Nonetheless, they get 2 kills. Those are pretty big kills as well, honestly. We'll see how the rest of this pans out. Obviously, going down, the Lycan dying is pretty important. Arts is just stalking Ake right now. Will he find this kill?
okay, no, it's even worse. I was trying to justify bugs and stuff like that. The Searing Chains didn't connect. He died to an auto attack in the fountain.
Was it?
So
You got to slide a
it's
fist off. Was it that?
No, it was just a hit. It was
That's
just
awkward.
straight up.
He just died.
Oh,
to a
wait,
right
no, he
click.
wasn't. It must have been Sleight of Fist, right? It must say just hits in the combat log.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, that definitely wasn't.
There
he
was
wasn't
no
in
other
auto-attack
right. There
range.
was no other right click that I could tell that was coming through, other than sleight of fist, which isn't. Really
So the
right
Sleight of Fist killed him as the TP ended.
That's weird. Anyways, they're gonna try to go for the tier 3 tower now. Waiting Rift is gonna go in onto 2 heroes. No real follow up though. Shapeshift from Mad. Ice Path onto Mad. He gets stopped in his tracks.
Necro go.
Necro?
Oh, nice.
If they can kill this Necro, it'd be pretty big. Miss Coil's gonna go. Artez is low. Artez is gonna fall. Maybe. Shadow Dance not there, but he does Shadow Blade up. Gorik in trouble. Illusion Orb sniped from the backside. 1 for 1 exchange so far. Sleight of Fist going again. Loda now in the fray.
there's
There's
the
gonna be
grab.
the Fiends group going in, but it gets a Phonic off immediately. Eul Scepter onto Dread, multicast, boom, Shakalak onto Midas, and onto Ake as well. Dread is playing some goddamn Dota, ladies and gentlemen. Artez is still going onto Loda. Arrow connects, but look at Arts go. He's trying to take down Loda, not able to do so. But with 4 dead, it is now HR's time to take down a tier 3 tower. Although they are rather low, it's going to be kind of tough. They have to regen up. Do they have any regen at all? Let's see here. Tranquils, Scotty. There's a lads on a bed. Buyback coming up from My Nuts. Arts is going to be the one. Arrow comes in. They just kind of shift away from it, and they'll be fine. Dread walking forward. 1 multicast, 2 multicast. Loda has to leap away. Now the Raxes are exposed. It looks like they will take their first set of Raxes. At least one of these buildings is going to fall. It's going to be the Ranger Rax, maybe? Yes. And now they back away. Nightmare.
Needs to provide the appropriate heals. Works.
And he's gone. Okay.
And he has a borrowed time TP, so no, unless they roared him, God him should live.
They had no Nightmare for the Bane. If they had one, they could have thrown it up on the Ogre, who was TP'd
They're gonna
away.
roar him when he TPs, I guess, or he's not TPing and he's just gonna die. That's
They'll
weird.
probably just die, I think.
At least you could have. I guess the Nightmare's off cooldown now, so in the end, it would have been a waste.
Range Rax for a couple of heroes from HellRaisers, but certainly it's the better exchange for the Dire Squad.
Yeah, they're still looking really good in this game overall, and yeah, there's nothing to stop them from just spreading the map and waiting for the next Roche. I wanted to go back real quick to the thing that we were talking about, the what if actually hit the Beastmaster. It doesn't say Sleight of Fist in the combat log, so it was the Sleight of Fist strike. It says hits.
Yeah.
But I remembered now how Sleight of Fist works is your initial cast, it marks all the targets in the circle, and then you just jump around like crazy to all the targets that were marked, even if they leave the circle. So essentially, he was marked, then he TP'd out, and then he Ember Spirit bounces to hit him across the map. So
Okay.
no bugs, just all is well in the Dota world. It's just, it looks pretty crazy when you don't investigate.
I'm glad you went deep into that one, man. I certainly was going to put in the effort, but I'm glad somebody did. Good stuff. Pycat stalking Gork right now. Gork kind of got body blocked. He's going to get used up by Pycat, I guess. They're going to have some heroes rotate over. Gork is like, I don't know what's happening here. He's going to use up the puck, and now Gork is just going to try to leave. Pycat has Dream Coil. He's going to pop it off. And Ice Path misses on all three. Well, sometimes the luck's with you. Sometimes it's not, Gork. Sorry, buddy. And for now, Matt is up to 2.2k gold. But this is the problem with this Lycan is that because he wasn't in the mid or safe lane, he didn't have a chance to snowball. Instead, they kind of gave that farm to the Mirana, and they didn't really get much done with it. Had Matt been there, he gets his Necro earlier, and all of a sudden maybe they take down towers and they take fights a bit better. But instead of that, now they have to face off against a Daedalus Battle Fury, Ember Spirit. Gork is pretty farmed himself. Slark has a Scotty now, and they've lost a range Rex. So at some point in time, I don't know, HellRaisers are going to be able to try to finish off this game.
It's true that you can attribute the state of the game to the Lycan pick in the sense that they lost their early game as a result of it, but you also have to say that okay, FNJ, nice little pick off there.
Sad, yeah.
But you also can't just compare a Lycan that started off jungle to a Lycan that could have been in the mid or the safe lane. What you do is you compare him to a support under that same sense. You compare him to like a Chen or Enchantress, for example. So if this is a Chen or Enchantress with a Necro 3 of Lads and is about to wreck this tier 2 tower, you're not too unhappy about that. It's just overall they lost the early game because he couldn't contribute to the lanes.
Yes, that's true. You don't really have much lane pressure as a Lycan when you're in the jungle. There's going to be a connection of Ake, and he's in some trouble as he gets caught out by Arts. Meanwhile, Mad gets multicasted again. He'll try to fight. He has no shapeshift, however. He's pounced up again. There's the run Arts, though. Aphotic Shield not available. Arts taking a lot of damage. He'll fall, actually. The Necro Book is going to work here. They will take 3 kills. They're going to take 4 kills. HellRaisers, goddamn, is the only one alive. It's going to be a team wipe. An Alliance turned it around. Wow, and they are going to put pressure on this tier 3 tower. Where did this come from? The Necro Book's starting to come into play. And obviously, Minuts as well. He has a Necro 1. He's going to have a Necro 2. He's going to have a Necro 3 pretty soon. Moda has an Ultimate Orb, perhaps Romanticile. Pycat has his Dakin. They're going to take a tier 3 tower, it looks like, at the very least.
Yep, they just kind of picked him apart. Really nice movement there from the team as a whole, and the Abaddon just couldn't really plug all the holes in that disaster of a team fight. They got initiated on hard, and they are going to go in here onto... Oh! Because he had a Remnant back. Took too long, and Mirana just jumps right out. So now it's going to be FNJ 1v2, going in for the Sleight of Fist, chains, and only gets the chains out of the puck. So Pycat going down, but Minuts with the Geometry Sight is the kill that you're worried about. I would imagine.
Wow, he is not. That's actually impressive. If they lost nothing for that. They lost nothing for staying an extra bit, taking that tier 3 tower, putting pressure onto the range racks, and all of a sudden that gives them so much. Wow.
And they go for the Fiend's Grip. Alpha Ninja is all by himself here. There isn't enough time to blink.
He's no buyback. Not that it matters.
I mean, I don't think they'll follow it up.
No.
But at the same time, there's still a death that he spent a lot of time away from his teammates. The Gorak couldn't get in for the Blink Yules on the Bane. Obviously, Gotham wasn't there to Aphotic. He is extremely reliant on his teammates bailing him out. Because although we've talked about time and time again how good Dark Pact and Aphotic Shield is against Alliance's draft, that means if those elements aren't there, that Alliance's draft is really, really good. The Fiend Script, the Roar, the Arrow, he gets picked off all day long. He has to rely on those.
Matt is going to get caught out with the Pounce, and he is going to get multicasted as well, and Jakir will fish him off the Macropyre. Loda's going to come through. Atos is up on a hero, and that's actually on... Artez is caught out. BKB, Dream Coil, he's dead. Illusory Orb will connect as well. Bycat is dominated. Goddamn, is getting right-click down. He'll have to pop the Bard time as well as Red is going to TP, or rather blink away. Gorek, he's got his blink up. Arrow, it's going to connect. Beautiful arrow from Loda. What can they do now to Gorek? They're going to come through. Yule Scepter from Pycat. Waning Rift is going to be available, and he's going to use it. And Gorek's going to fall.
Actually,
4 are going to die again.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was the defensive Yules first, but it doesn't change his state. Once you get that arrow and you get the highly mobile puck to jump from fight to fight, he's able to contribute to all 3 battlefronts on that one. And now they look to go for the Roche. The Ember Spirit has finally come back in, but yeah, it's just the fact that there was that whole Roche fight without the Ember Spirit because he got picked off on top lane. they really can't afford to get singled out like that. But right now, a lot of HellRaisers' core heroes are playing a solo game rather than a team game.
Yeah, and it seems like they're kind of floundering here. They bought back on a hero. Gork's going to come in, though. He's going to Ice Path the puck. Pycat's going to get caught out. Nice usage of that Fiend's Grip, and Dread is so in trouble. Dagon, Arrow, Dread. He's so tanky, he is dead. Now the Starstorm coming at FNJ back and ready to fight, but roars up. FNJ is dead, and they are throwing this game away.
Without the Abaddon. Like, they're tanky. They can. I mean, the Ogre is tanky, but they have like 8,000 disables to put on him. The Ember Spirit, he is mobile, but they have even more to heap onto him. Like, it's absolutely insane.
Arrow's gonna come through. Goddamn's gonna avoid it. It's long range. Loda didn't have a chance there, but they're taking the range racks. Melee racks is gonna fall as well. Dread buys back. Gork pops the Ice Path onto Minot. He'll get caught out with the Macro Power. Arts is gonna come in, but a great Nightmare defensively. Arts is now enfeebled up. There's the Shadow Dance going in. Minot should fall here. Gem's on the deck. Who's going to pick it up? It looks like it will be HellRaisers to use. Top lane. Guess what Lycan's doing? He's after door. He's taking the racks. And now the BKB. Mad doesn't want to get caught out with a right click or even just obviously the Fire Blast coming from Dread. However, with no shapeshift, now he has it. He's going to have to get out of here. Pounce might be available. Fire Blast goes in at the last second. That's unfortunate.
So they do not take that much there. They do get the range racks. Obviously, tier 3 are gone. But that pretty much equalizes the rack situation. If not for what F-King Mad could accomplish up on the top lane, then that would be very different. But yeah, as it is, HellRaisers, I think they're shook more than anything else. I think more, obviously, the net worth has changed substantially here from negative 7,500 to positive. But I would say that at this point in the game, HellRaisers still have a really good shot at taking this to the late, but their mentality obviously isn't on par with what Alliance are bringing right now. They are on tilt, they are getting picked off left and right, and they feel like they're throwing a one game. So they need to really just reset, get their heads back in the game, because although this current lead is not insurmountable for their team lineup, their current mentality they're bringing to it is insufficient.
We've seen some ridiculous games so far, and this is up there in terms of what's happened. As Maut mentioned, they've quite literally flipped the net worth lead. It was 7,500 for HellRaisers not too long ago, and it's right about there for Alliance now. Mjolnir's now finished up for Loda, and he still has that ultimate orb just sitting casually on his person. They do take down Roshan, and Arts has the Aegis down, so that is going to provide them a cushion if they do get caught out again. But they were not playing together as 5. You talked about how important Goddamn was to this team. And that's definitely the case as well here, so. Well.
I mean, they got Bloodlust on everybody. They've got really good, well-farmed carry items. Like, they should be able to run away just with the level of farm there are on these two core heroes. But the amount of Disable Lances drafted makes it so that Abaddon is of paramount import. And if he is involved in the fight, they win it. If he's not, then try again next time. It really is very unfortunate. They do have better vision up now. Like, this Observer Ward is expiring soon, but if they refresh that, they'll be in a pretty good spot. But I don't know. At this point, they've given up so much that, like, obviously we see Loda is actually doing damage, and that's obviously a big deal. And they are going for the smoke flank.
The wrap around coming out of the backside, but they see it coming here. Well, maybe not. They saw the Hawk coming in. Arts is going to try to fight up. Mad getting caught out. Elusive Orb coming through. Is he going to jaunt? No. BKB popped up. That's going to be for Mad, and Arts is still Shadow Dance. FNJ getting caught as well, but where's the actual engagement happening? It looks like nowhere. They want to get Goddamn, but he's sitting very far back. They Dream Coil him. And that's going to be only one. Roar now up into Dread. Aphotic Shield's about to fly out. And Gork is caught out. Big take it from Pycat. Arts jumps in onto Ake, but this is not the best engagement for him. He's taking a lot of damage. Good Nightmare coming out. Multicast onto Matt, however, and now HellRaisers are taking it to them. Double kill coming out from FNJ. My Nuts is getting right click down as well. Triple kill for your Ember Spirit. Dagon almost kills Dread. The right click will. Pycat gonna jaunt away. Sleight of Fist does some damage, but no Surge Chains to follow up. They'll chase after him instead of going for the tower. Now they turn their attention back to the tier 2.
The creep wave is coming, so that's where they want to break down the tower while the respawns are coming through. I really like that Alliance simulcast the roar and the grip, essentially gripping one target and roaring another. He has to, Abaddon has to choose between two children to save. But in this case, they still don't have the damage to scalability that Slark and Ember Spirit do, and when it comes down to brass tacks, we do see FNJ and Arts are going to prevail. They are going to take this fight and the tier 2. and the melee Rex will only take a few hits.
Yeah, Pycat was making a pretty smart play, but that was really good rotation for Banalpha Ninja just to make sure he got back over and defended.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised he didn't leave a remnant so they could heal up at the fountain and jump right back to the top lane, but it is what it is.
Yeah, they don't want to go for too much here. They're going to back away. Goddamn and Arts are going to just make sure they get out scot-free, and they will do so. Pycat is over, and he has his Dagon 5 now done. And this Dagon 5 is actually putting in so much work. He almost killed Dread quickly. He had to right-click him down, but I mean, he did it again on a couple of heroes as well. Tijikiro got blown up, so this is certainly anybody's game, I'd say. You could go either way at this point.
Yeah, it comes down to positioning, coordination, and cooldowns. Who uses what where. And in this case, I think that Alliance are getting a lot better about it, but the Abaddon and Slark are still too difficult to control. If the Aegis is used right, they have 1.5 minutes to use it, then I would say that they have a very nice point of leverage in this game. But that if the Alliance does a little bit of rat play and some really good surprise attacks, a little bit of guerrilla warfare, then they should be able to pick apart HellRaisers. So again, either way this game could go. I'm just saying, like, as far as the overall strategy, HellRaisers, I think if they just play a normal game of work together Dota, that they should be able to pull this one out.
Honestly, I agree with you. I think that it's weird because Alliance are known for their rat ability, but in this game, it's not really full rat. I mean, Mad's sitting mid, whereas Lotus top, he could send the Wolves and the Necro top, and they could start ratting it up if they wanted to. Maybe they'll send them up there now, but now it's already too late. Look at bottom lane. HellRaisers are pushing in. They want this melee Rax.
Yeah, that's a big Rax to take down. No fortification for it, and the creep wave is about to break down backdoor protection.
Home. They've got to TP home. Otherwise, this is a free Rax.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
Liquid
attack.
Fire's already on it. They'll put pressure here. TP's coming in from... Oh, they actually hit the arrow and goddamn. Ice Path comes in. Multicast 1, multicast 2. Dual Breath. Is he dead? No. BKB's roaring to Dread. Dagon onto Gork. Not dead yet. Pycat. Big Dream Coil coming in. Sleight of Fist. FNJ does have 2 Daedalus, mind you. If he sits in the back and just sleights a fist and hopefully gets some procs.
It's so
but Dread, a Phonic Shield going to work. Keeps him alive. Everybody's alive coming up from HellRaisers. Art's coming in. He wants this boar, but he's not going to get it. They'll back away. They do not get this Rax. They defend successfully. BKBs were used. Shapeshift was used. Dream Coil was used.
They can't fight this without borrowed time for Gotham. He's got 15 seconds on it, and he can be the focus target if they don't delay. But I don't know. Like,
there's no ultimate stuff for Alliance, though.
Yeah, that's true. The fight was so spread out. The Fiend's grip was over in mid lane, so Arts was taken out of the fight. But obviously, they didn't have any damage following that up, so it was just delaying it. And in that sense, Gotham just got to focus on 2 people to keep alive instead of 3 or 4. And they're still in this. They're still looking to push it through. And as you mentioned, no ultimates just yet. 15 seconds on the roar. And that's the only thing you have to worry about Aphoticking other than the arrow. But I don't think they're confident. I mean, obviously with their HP bar state, they could be a lot better off. So they're gonna fall back, make sure that they don't overcommit to something that would cost them the game. And I think that's a fair decision. I don't think that they're making a mistake by playing a little hesitantly.
Pycat picking up the Aghanim Scepter. This could be a game changer, honestly. I think that this could start turning the game around. We saw in the last game how big it was. Just the log duration stun coming through. Not only through the coil, but through the actual snap duration as well. So, and Pycat has had a heck of a game. 10, 6, 11. He is the one character, I think, on Alliance that has really put in just the best possible game he could. But for now, it's still very close. Only 1 range Rax down on both sides. The only difference really is that HellRaisers still have their Tier 2 tower at bottom, whereas all the Tier 2 towers are gone for Alliance. And HellRaisers are going to smoke up. They want to make sure they take this game. They didn't want to throw. They got things back in their favor now. As far as the net worth graph is concerned, it's even. They're going to try to go for a kill.
I think they'll get fucking man here. Yeah, he has the BKB, but if they catch him right with all the damage coming out, they should be, yeah.
He shapeshifted first. He should have BKB'd first. Not that he would have survived it, I don't think. Good kill, though. Big kill. Buyback status, he does have it for sure. Abyssal
will come out on Slark. No, the only defensive item he has is the Scotty here, but he has a lot of offensive potential if he gets to stay throughout the fight. I'm actually considering the fact whether or not they should be going for the Lincolns here, specifically like the Jakiro could go for Hex or Lincolns. They have to worry about the Force Staff, the Necro Mana Burn, Those are both good Lincoln's poppers. There's the Yules as well. But other than that, everything else is major stuff that you want to prevent. So I think the Lincoln's Fury would be really nice, but that's for later. For now, it is the Tier 3 tower, and that is not the easiest thing to take down, especially with all these things coming in from all angles, but end of the day, they have 2 lanes of attack, and the Enfeebled Slark will Shadow Blade down bottom.
He's going to maybe look to try to take this Rex and pull a fast one over on Alliance. I don't know. It's going to be difficult to do, though. Gorik and the rest of the squad are still sitting mid right now, and I don't know if this is going to be the fight that ends all fights, but we'll have to wait and see. Arrow's going to sail through.
Nice.
It does hit on Artiz. He'll just sit there, stunned up for a moment or two. No Fada coming out. And another TP this time for Matt. He's back into the fray.
Abaddon's mana is actually pretty important here. He has the Soul Ring, but even still, like, if there's no need to be moving and attacking during the arrow duration, just let it fly. But yeah, at this point they're at full strength here, and it is going to be TP back for the Ember. Did he leave? Yeah, he left a remnant this time to the high ground here.
So he'll just clear this creep wave out as quickly as possible and head back towards the engagement, if there is one that is breaking out. They know that he's up top, but he's already back mid. Remnant. Arrow's going to come in.
Oh.
Okay. He walked right into it. Loda's walking
They
out.
could actually roar somebody or
Yule
Fiend Grip
Scepter.
somebody. Yeah.
Pycat wants to jump in. BKB now for Loda. Pycat gets abyssalled.
No
He's
buyback.
dead with no buyback. Can they take anything off the back end? Is arguably the most important hero down now for Alliance. Arrow comes in. Misses. Sleight of Fist chews up this creep wave as well. And they're looking to go and push into the high ground. Searing Chains, Loda has to leap away. Ice Path a bit too late. Arts is going to work. Tier 3 tower should fall here. The Enfeeble's going to do something, but not enough. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains going yet again. Loda taking so much damage. Another arrow off the mark again. Arts is still enfeebled, but also Aphotic shielded up. Oh my god, the multicast from Dread, and Ake gets RNG'd to death. And now the Raxes are exposed and dead. This is going to be 2 sets of racks, it looks like, as the bottom lane is probably going to be taken sometime in the near future. They're going to head top instead. They want this Tier 3 tower. Arrow does hit on Arts. Not that long of a duration as Aphotic Shield goes. Searing Chain, Sleight of Fist. Good leap away from Loda to make sure he gets out in time. And I think HellRaisers are playing this well. They're diving when they need to, but for the most part, they're just taking the base.
Calm, cool, and collected here. And Alliance needed to heavily outplay their opponents at this stage in the game, and it's just not happening. It's the other way around. We do see HellRaisers make some big plays happen, and the racks are gone. That's 2 lanes, none ratted out, and death of a core hero. It's going to be the buyback on
It's going to be the
Loda.
death of 2 core heroes, yeah. As Mind Knights has fallen, they will buy back on both heroes, but at this point, again, 2 sets of racks and arguably 2.5. Not even arguably, it is 2.5. Well, Mad's going to get Searing Chained, and he has to use his BKB now. Roar's going to go through. They will try to go into Loda here. Arts is going to work, but instead he's going to turn his attention to Mind Nuts. More TP's in from Ake, and HellRaisers do the smart thing, and they back off.
They should be able to at least get the Abaddon here.
Yeah, they're going to find him.
He doesn't have a TP scroll, so he's
Nope,
dead.
they're going
just
for
keep the
Arts.
Nightmare on him. Keep the Yules on
Dark
him.
Pact went.
Oh my god!
RK is staying alive. He's going to pop the brain sap, and goddamn is still getting chased down. Everyone's at about half health here. Miss Cole is going to go. He actually takes down. Oh my god, he got the Necro Warrior. He is the only one here. He is 1v5ing them, and then he's dead.
So, Dark Pact. That was absolutely insane. Like, that actually could have been a really good kill on the Slark there, because they get the Nightmare, they can use the Abaddon after silence him, and Arts dies. But instead, he gets the Dark Pact off, and they go right back into the fight there, killing off Pycat, killing off the Lycan, fighting it out with the Mirana while the racks are dying down bottom. Oh my gosh, that's
gonna
an
be an
ultra
ultra
kill
kill.
for Alpha Ninja.
He will be denied the Rampage, obviously, as guess who wasn't there? It was Nuts. Game is taken by HellRaisers, and this young and up-and-coming team is showing that they can do it against the top tier. They're going to take down Alliance in a really well-played game. There was a bit of a throwy situation earlier on in the game, but for the most part, they, like you said, played calm, cool, and collected. At about 30 to 40 minutes in, they took the game.
Yeah, you could see the mental shift. They really reset their attention and their focus to what was important, which was grouping up together with the heroes they had. They knew they had the advantage. They knew they didn't even need Roche, which they could have fallen back on. And they just said, okay, we can do this here and now. And they did it. Really, really well played. Again, a shaky about 5 to 10 minutes of this game out of the 48, but they got their act back in gear, and here they are, 48.5 minutes in. HellRaisers take it away.
Yeah, this is really just a well-played game from HellRaisers, and they'll move on with a victory. Alliance go down at 48 minutes in. Not our last game of the day for Starladder EU. We have one more game. That'll be LeJohns versus, I think it's Vega, I'm pretty sure. coming up next. So make sure you guys stick around again. My name is Maut. With me is Blaze, as well as MautPacks. Check us out on Twitter, twitter.com/MautPacks, twitter.com/BlazeCasting, and of course you can check me out at Twitter, twitter.com/MautDota. We'll be back with our last game of Starladder EU in just a bit, guys. Stick around.